Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this knowledge-based playlist on the subdivision as a strategy. My name's Logan Horsted. So in this video, what I'll be doing is taking you through the Price Finder tools, which is the My Valuer and My Research component of the REI tools that we offer, which is powered by Price Finder, which is going to allow us to do some really nifty stuff in terms of checking boundaries and assessing whether a block would be subdividable by council standards. So you can simply access My Value and My Research from your homepage by clicking on the icon here. Alternatively, if you were in your search, you could simply scroll up to the top of your page and click on My Value or My Research, which will open you up into this page, which is My Value and My Research powered by Price Finder. So what I'm going to grab from this is just the address, and we're going to utilize basically Price Finder to check the boundaries of this property. So I'm simply going to copy and paste that in. And what it will do is it will look for the property, so you can select the property. It will it'll give you a couple of options where property map or property report. I'm going to select the property report option, and then I'm simply going to click on the search icon, which is going to bring back a report on that property specifically. Now, a couple of really cool things that you can do here. One, you can check boundary lines, but I'll get to that in one moment. What's also available is a current market estimation. So we know that this property is available for $440,000 based off the sales estimate. It's 411. So they've priced this a little bit above what our estimation is, and the confidence score is low. What that means is that there's not a lot of data available in this area to put into the automatic valuation. But you can see handy things like owners' names, email address, and or PO boxes sometimes. You can check when it was last sold. So there's actually no sales recorded for this. So you can assume that it's probably owner occupied. And there is a for sales history, however, which was advertised back in 2012 for 372. They failed to sell. Now they're with a different agent for 440 plus. There's no rental history as well, which would support the fact that it may potentially be owner occupied. You can also see in the property description features, the lot planning numbers as well, the primary use, any secondary use for the land, who the local authorities are in terms of obviously the council looking after it, so that's Brisbane City Council, the land area. You can get land valuation data as well, so you can see here there's a site value and unimproved. So what unimproved means is that that's without mains connected, for example, so things like telecommunications, gas, water lines, etc. Site value is with those things connected, and you can see here the valuations each year that occur on October at the same point. You can also see the smart map information. So this is a really handy function. So you can simply click on the PDF icon there. It will load up straight into your site for you, and you can check your boundary sizes and lot sizes here and get all the planning numbers as well, which is really helpful information. You can also see any nearby planning and development applications that have gone through, what they were for. So we can see here the distance and the date that it occurred, and which can be helpful. Also any suburb growth data as well. So it gives you a very good high-level view. But to get back to, I guess, the main thing that we're here for, which was the interactive map, which can be basically accessed by clicking on this little icon here, which would always appear in the top right-hand corner of the property. This will open up the map software, and as you can see, there's our property there. So you can quickly have a quick look and go, okay, at a high level, does this make sense? But what this will also allow you to do is use a map tool function simply by clicking on this ruler, and you can simply draw lines by clicking, taking a measurement to the side of the house, clicking again, and then you can double click to finish. And as you can see, that's 5.9 meters, so we know we've got enough space for a driveway up the side of that house. Now, obviously, the allowances vary depending on the local council, but the point is that you're able to easily check this. So what you can do is click on the bin icon, and then you can click back on the ruler again, and then you can just draw and pretend as if you had a driveway that run up the side, a small backyard for that front lot, and just continually draw your lines around the block, and then double click to finish, and there you go. So if we knew that the minimum lot size was the 600 rear, then we could say, okay, great, we know that we can definitely subdivide this property in a battle axe arrangement, given as long as it meets all the rest of the council standards as well. But that's always a good start. And you can also see the total meterage in each direction as well that we've measured out, which can be really helpful. What you can also do is if you turn off the Google Aerials view, you'll get a much cleaner view without the property in sight now. And then you can add contours. You can add contour lines would be helpful, I guess, in if you wanted to check which way blocks were sloping. So we might have to zoom out to see whether there are any contour lines. So there aren't. So that's great. We know that land is likely to be flat. Then you might see these big purple lines. What they are is actual easements. So easements are generally inaccessible, pieces or areas rather on properties that have an ownership by, say, sometimes a gas company, for example, or by Telstra. They could be telecommunication lines, which means that you can't build over them or tunnel under them as well. So knowing where those easements are can be quite helpful. What you can see here is that there's actually no easements on this particular property. We know that the boundaries can meet the criteria that we want. Again, always check with local council for the guidelines in the area. I'm not saying that you can go out and subdivide this property. The demonstration was more purely to highlight what you could do with the mapping function, just to make sure that if it met all the rest of the criteria, that would be the block size that you end up with. Then we'd simply have to take a measurement of obviously what the front lot would be left with and make sure that that conforms to council and planning standards as well. So that's it. Super simple stuff, guys. But you can also add additional information like the lot and plan numbers. As you can see now, that will appear, and I'll just quickly take that off. So there it is there. Then you can also see, owner details as an overlay. So that's Hanson. You can add in street numbers. Any of this data that you want, last sale. So there was no recorded sales for this particular property. We already knew that earlier. But all of this wonderful functionality can really make your life a lot easier when checking if a property is indeed subdividable, and it's quick and easy to use, as you've seen. So in the next video, what we'll do is we'll show you the property analyzer tool, which will just show you some high-level financial information, basically based on some assumptions that we input, but you could use verifying, obviously, with the Price Finder software. So I'll show you that in the next video. Thanks, guys.